Hey y'all, I'm Kendrick Shope. Now I know what you might be thinking. Oh great, here comes another person telling me a ton of skill sets that I need to run a successful business. But not so quick. I'm gonna share with you today a no BS, true way to make money in your business. Hello and happy new year. You are in for a treat because I cannot say our guest's last name. We have the fabulous Monika Villarreal. Monika, say it right for me.
Monika Villarreal.
Yeah, there you go. That, and I've tried, y'all, but I can't. I've known Monika for a while and I can't pronounce her last name. So, sometimes we just have to own our faults. And one is I cannot pronounce Monika's last name. But welcome to the show, Monika. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you. This is such a pleasure.
Oh, you are welcome. And so you all may be wondering, okay, great. Well, you can't pronounce this gorgeous woman's name. What is she doing here? Monika is a sales expert. So from one sales expert to another, we're going to dig in. We're going to dive in. We are going to get your sales covered here at the beginning of this year so that you can make more money because let's face it, selling is the exchange of money for a product of service. Without sales, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. So, Monika, tell us where you are. Where are you from? Where do you live?
So I am in Houston, Texas. So we get all the heat weather, no winters here, very few seasons, blah, blah,
blah. Yeah. Houston, the great city of Houston. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I am a business and mindset coach. And I help women entrepreneurs kind of ditch the doubt, work through their fears, figure out what it is that they really want out of their business, out of their life, and work through all of it, help them take action so that they can get what they really want, which ultimately gets them more clients, more money, and more of an impact.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I'm sorry, Monika. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I was reading, one of my favorite books is the Shonda Rhimes book, The Year of Yes. Have you read it?
I have not.
It's fantastic. For anybody who is listening, watching, whatever, if you haven't read it, it is fantastic. But it's really interesting because she, in part of the book, I listened to the book. So they replay a commencement speech that she gave at Dartmouth, and she talks about don't be a dreamer. Dreams don't get you anywhere. Be a doer, right? And it really, in other words, take action. It really got me back to thinking about that business owner that you work with, Monika, and how taking one small step every day gets you so close. It is the doing, right? Ditch the doubt and get to the doing that makes the difference, that gets people where they want to go, but we just can't see it when we're new. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much to that.
Yeah, I agree completely. So it's interesting. You called yourself a business coach and a mindset expert. So, and I called you a sales expert. So tell us how do you marry all these three in your business?
Well, if you don't have sales, you really don't have a business.
Sounds real familiar to me anyway.
But with that, one thing I've realized from myself and from my clients is that you can have all the strategies out there. And you can have all the knowledge you want. However, if you haven't done the inner work, in other words, the mindset piece, you can't really bring it all together because many times it's your mindset, it's the inner work that needs to be done because that's actually what keeps you from getting to your goals.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really realize it until they're actually starting their business and they're starting into their sales. And they realize, why is it that I still feel stuck? I know all this stuff. Oh my God, I've got all this knowledge. I've taken all these courses. Why can't I get out there and do this? And many times the mindset piece or the internal work that needs to be done.
It's funny because I saw on Facebook just this morning, a former client of mine posted something along the lines of, my coach, she's not my client anymore. This was 2 years ago. My coach keeps telling me to do consistent something. I don't remember if it was consistent social media, consistent blogging. And I'm finally ready to just do, to get out of my own head and just do. And I thought, wow, 2 years ago, we were still wrestling with that same get consistent, do whatever. And so the journey has been 2 years in advance. And she's just now probably done the mindset work to be able to feel comfortable doing that, right? It's amazing.
That's so normal. That happens to all of us. And I speak from experience. I took the courses, I had the knowledge, but I didn't believe I had enough knowledge. It never was enough. I never
Yeah.
thought it was possible. So that's usually what keeps us.
Yeah, I did that too, Monica. And you know what? I still do this sometimes, but I think, oh, I just need to learn that in order to be able to X. Or I just need to learn a little bit more about that. And that's just not true. But I did not know it was, for me, it was fear, and it probably still is fear. I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
You have to, Jenny, she and I talk all the time about how you have to continually self-coach yourself in this industry. If you can't, doesn't matter if you can sell or not, because you don't even get to that point.
Mm-mm. That's why coaches always have coaches.
Right.
We always have mentors all the time.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's always going to be something that you encounter consistently. You just have to you have to make sure that you go through your fears and work through them so that you can get to that higher level, right? So, kind of like your upper level selling. It's more strategies is to get them further up. Same thing.
So Monica, let's talk a little bit about that. So if you are a new business owner, right? Or maybe you're not a new business owner. Maybe you've been doing this a long time. Exactly. But what is the first or a sign, maybe not the first, but what's a sign that you are stuck in a mindset funk, so to speak, that you're being driven by doubt? What's a symptom of that? What's it look like?
Well, it's usually being stuck.
Just feeling stuck.
You can, you're not really putting yourself out there. Many people won't. Usually they're aware of it without wanting to be aware of it, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So that they know there's something that's holding them back. They know that they feel stuck for a reason, and they are stuck for a reason. It's because they have a limiting belief, and that's why they're not really going through this consistently, because they don't believe they can actually do it.
And so
it's like giving up before really getting started.
And what do you do with people like that?
It's more about finding what it is actually that they want to do, what it is that's actually keeping them stuck. And for that, you have to really dig deep.
Yeah.
You have to really have conversations and, what's really going on? What's behind all of that? And why do you feel like that? Is that really something that's real and true for you?
Yeah, I remember when I took Martha Beck's classes, one of her favorite lines was, "Could that be proven in a court of law?" Like, I'm a failure.
That's great.
Or, I'm so fat, or I don't know. I'm just thinking of some of the stuff I say about myself. Not that anybody here would say that, but and then I always hear her say, "Could that be proven in a court of law?" No, even if, of course everybody's failed. Yes, I failed a gazillion times in my life, but could it be proven? No, there's probably not a law to prove that. So it's always it's funny when you find the things, funny is not the right word, ironic when you find the things that you say in your head that have absolutely very little truth to them. It blows my mind.
We're all creating all of it.
We are. So, okay. So you've got this. One of the things I love about Monica is she, and we've touched on this, but she marries some things that a lot of business coaches don't. And it's not just mindset plus business expertise, but it really is an expertise in selling. And I don't know. So like when I took one-on-one clients, when I was in a place where we were taking one-on-one clients, if they had a mindset issue, I would refer them to a book. I would say, I teach you how to, get out there and make more money and get more yeses, but you're in your own way here and I can't coach you around that. So you got 3 options: stay stuck, hire a life coach, or read this Martha Beck or Brooke Castillo book. Like, I didn't want to touch it. I'm a terrible life coach. I would have sent people crying. I know it. What I love about you, Monica, is that you have this piece and you have the business savvy, but then it's also married with this really sharp selling experience. And I know this because you have been through sales school. You are an authentic selling instructor, one of 2 in the whole world, authentic selling instructor. And so I don't know if you remember this, but when you applied to be an authentic selling instructor, I asked you why. And do you remember what you said?
What was it that I said?
Something about that selling had always been in your family. Your dad was an entrepreneur. Is that right?
It had been. So I come from a long line of entrepreneurs, but my parents have always been very, it's like never always living between the lines, right? So they were entrepreneurs, but they had corporate positions, right? And so they always had that backing, that security. And I was kind of like the child that kind of went rogue. I wanted to get out of the corporate world and get into the business world and just do that, that's it. And I always knew that I wanted to help people in some way. And business and sales has always been my passion, but helping people have as well. So I kind of, and it's something that even to this day, sometimes I'll deal with my parents, because they're like, you don't think that corporate job should be? I'm like, no.
I love it. I love it. The thing that I loved about it, and it gave me chills. I even remember, I don't know why, but I remember what I had on. If it's a big moment, or if it's a moving moment, oftentimes I remember what I have on. I remember what I had on when I read that. It was the most compelling answer to the question I've ever read. And we had, I don't remember how many people applied, 12, 13 people, and we accepted, a couple, but it was the best answer I've ever read, which is, sales is in my blood, right? Entrepreneurship is in my blood. My parents were, did this. My dad did this. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, yes, she is who I want to go out there and carry this on. And so it really is an honor to have you as an instructor and watch you do that, because you embody everything good about authentic selling.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. It's such a pleasure. When I went through sales school, I realized that even though I had many years of sales experience, there were so many valuable strategies that I learned with sales school. And so to be able to marry that with the mindset piece and doing inner work was just, amazing. That's why the instructor piece, because I thought these lessons that Kendrick is teaching are so valuable, especially for the online world. I mean, just sales in general.
Yeah.
That to put that together brings like the whole package to a close, because there are two main important pieces. Without sales, you don't have a business. Without mindset, you can't move forward regardless of the sales skills that you have. So putting them together for me was just like, it was like a match made in heaven. I thought, this is perfect.
I would say, I think it is a match made in heaven. I think it's beautiful. And I think that your 2018 is going to be booked solid because of that, because I've seen your sales skills. I've seen how well you coach from the selling perspective. And I know what you teach because, I taught some of it as well.
Absolutely.
Of course you have your own spin on it, and that's the way it should be. But then you couple it with this mindset piece that I was never able to. And so I think that, people that are looking to say, well, why, I know I need to do A, B, and C, but why can't I? What a great, okay, great. These are the solutions that are going to make you money. I'm positive. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Go do them. And then next week, but I didn't do them, Monika, and I don't know why. Great. Then let's dig into why, where I was always just like, go do them.
Yeah.
So I love it, because you really get to the root problem, and then they can go and apply all of those strategies that will make themselves money. What's the hardest part about selling for you?
The hardest part about, selling was actually bringing it all together. I went through a really difficult divorce, and found myself as a single mom, hit rock bottom. And during the time I was taking my coaching certification, and then got my instructor certification for sales school. And the most difficult part of all of it was really bringing it all together, balancing my life, being able to balance doing all these things and then serving clients. So it was the hardest part and kind of the best at the same time, because of my experiences. My experiences brought so much to the table for my clients that, because I was able to speak more authentically, more real, because I actually had gone through it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because we've had a crazy, I feel like I say this every year. 2018 is not going to be this way. We've had a crazy year with the move and then another move. And, there was a point when I said to my husband, you know what? I think I just need to quit. He's like, you can't quit. Well, you can't quit. Well, you make too much money to quit. I'm like, I don't know how to balance as much as my family needs me right now, as much as Hallianna needs me right now, all the things that are up in the air, and still show up. I've always been the person who takes on too much. I didn't this time, but my family needed so much. And so when moms come to me or women come to me and say, how do you do it? I think that, just like you said, I'm a better coach, because I'm like, right now, there is not and this is true, not a clean pair of underwear in my closet. I have on my daughter's underwear. I squeezed my fat ass into my daughter's underwear. My stomach is hanging over it like I am pregnant, just so you know. But I mean, and that's disgusting, and it's gross, and not going to land me on Oprah, but it's real. It's true. And so I think that those experiences, I agree. And obviously I didn't quit. We found a way to make it work, but I didn't quit. But there are times when people just need you to be real. Yeah. And I love that about you. I love it about you. I love that you're able to say, you know, I went through a divorce and it was really hard, and it's part of your story. And then, you know, and this was also kind of the best part too, because it made me a better coach. It made me more present for my customers. I'm taking liberties with your words, but
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It is. That's just the way it works. And the coaching world isn't perfect. A lot of people present it as a certain way, and it's not. You know,
no.
I wasn't one that made it overnight. I wasn't one that started getting clients magically just all of a sudden. It took a lot of work, and I went through a lot of experiences and a lot of ups and downs. And that's
Yeah.
the reality of the business. You know, you've been through that. You've talked a lot about that. And that's one thing I loved about you, because you were so genuine and so out there. I mean, for God's sake, you'd be on videos with like rollers in your hair. How much better does it get? You know, that's real life as a mom or, you know, anything else. That's real life.
It is.
It's not
It is.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So Monica, let me ask you this. If,
Sure.
you know, obviously my audience is 80 to 90% women. And I do know that statistic. I don't know this next statistic, but I'm going to guess I'd say 60 to 70% entrepreneurs, if not more. So what piece of advice would you, I mean, there's so much advice out there, right? Like you and I were talking before we pressed record about the noise out there, and sometimes how you have just to sort of go back to doing the common things uncommonly well that you like and shut everything else out. What if they're stuck? So let's start with the mindset piece. If they're stuck, what's the one piece of advice you can give them? And it can be, you need to hire a coach. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that if that's the truth. So what do you think the one piece of advice there is if you're stuck and you're spinning your wheels?
Well, I think hiring a coach is definitely, I mean, that's a definite. I think that always is helpful. That's why all of us as coaches, you know, it doesn't matter how big we are, we always have, or how big you are or whatever, you always have another coach to fall back on. We always need that. But the best piece of advice I can say is, if you can't be yourself, be authentic, bring your true self and your experiences to your clients. And if you can't actually do that, then it's time to really dive deep and see why it is that you can't, and kind of work through that, because your clients, they want you.
Yeah.
Each one of us has such a special gift, and we have so much to give, and we don't allow ourselves to do that. And part of it is because we want to be like so-and-so, or we see that, you know, this person is great and we want to be exactly like them, but you need to be yourself. And at some point you'll have to come back and be your authentic self.
You will. It's so true. It's so true. And then if there's somebody watching who's like, I got that. I take action. You know, I'm a doer, but I am stuck with not making any sales. I'm not making any money. So that would, in my opinion, that would be a sales issue if you're not making any money or as much money as you want to be. What do you have a piece of advice for them where they should start?
Sales school.
Oh, that was not planned, by the way, but I'll take it. Thank you very much. And
because if they're lacking in the skills, it would be sales school.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sales school is something of which I'm very proud, and y'all hear a lot about it in the coming months, but thank you. So, Monika, let's talk really quickly about your vision for this business. This is a new question that I'm asking this year. You know, when 2018 is over, what do you want to have accomplished? What's on your radar for this year?
My biggest accomplishments, what really would fulfill me, is knowing that I've been able to really make a huge impact on so many women. I went through, like I talked about before, I went through a difficult divorce. I hit rock bottom. In my divorce, I didn't think for myself. I wasn't myself. And going through that alone was very difficult. Thinking that I was never going to be able to amount to anything was weighed so heavy on me. And I truly believed that when I was told that I don't want any other woman to ever feel like they're ever alone. And I want to be able to make an impact on any woman who feels like they want to help other people. They want to do something different in their life and they feel like they maybe can't. I want to know that I've made an impact.
I love it.
And that for me, that's more than enough.
Yeah. It's when I hear people like you talk, you know, people can get off on Facebook and just sort of like slam the coaching industry. And when it's when I hear people like you talk and I'm like, And this is what y'all are missing. It's the good, it's the heart, it's the soul of the people. Yeah, you may have had a bad experience. You may have been whatever, but
Sure.
this goodness of people who want to make an impact, who really do want to, as cheesy as it sounds, change the world.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. That's what makes this industry so freaking beautiful. Is
Exactly.
people have the best of intentions, and you are at the very top.
Yes, absolutely. That makes all the difference in the world.
It does.
It
It does.
does.
So,
Sure.
Monika, how can people contact you? So, obviously, can they contact you just for mindset or just for sales, or is it a package deal?
It's kind of a package deal. I mean, it really depends on each person, because each person is different. So if they want more mindset or they need more mindset, then we'll definitely do more mindset and but then go into most of the people that I get are all women online entrepreneurs who have found themselves kind of stuck.
Yep.
So that's where we go into we marry the mindset piece along with the sales skills, business strategies, et cetera, et cetera.
Fantastic. And so we've got your website linked here below. Is that the best way to contact you?
Best way to contact me, yes.
Okay,
And there's
fantastic.
an email there. They can contact me by email as well.
Great. And then also, you all, this whole month, Monika is going to she's always there, but we're going to spotlight her in the authentic selling community. And we're going to have her ask some questions. We're going to do a webinar together. We're going to really get your questions, get your sales skills in check so that 2018 can be the year where you actually do make an impact, the year where you make some money, the year where you make an impact, the year where it all comes together, from the mindset piece to the selling piece to the impacting millions piece, right, Monika?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. So we'll if you haven't joined the authentic selling community, join us there, and you'll get information about our upcoming month of Monika here.
Absolutely.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, Monika, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
It is a pleasure. Everybody out there, I believe in you. I believe in your business. You can do this. Let's go.